Hi guys, Dan here at Trojan Art Painting. Today we're taking a look at my imagination style horse and musket army for my Dress to Kill rules. Dress to Kill, as I've mentioned before, is my homegrown rule set that I play mainly with my number 2 son, Mikey. We always play what you see is what you get, bring them all, must be painted. This is a look at my army as my son would see it from across the table, deployed for battle. The paint jobs are paint them how you like, ahistorical, using figures from the 1970s to the latest releases. Figure scale is approximately 1 to 50, and ground scale is 1 hex equals 100 yards or 1 inch equals 25 yards. This project began in 1999, and the armies have grown slowly over the years. All the figures in this video were painted by myself in a variety of styles, as you will see, beginning as far back as 2001 to as late as this year. For my son's army, not seen in this video as there it is placed under his care, it contains figures that I painted going back as far as 1999, as well as figures that he has painted himself over the last 4 years. Starting with my extreme right flank and moving left, this is how my army at this stage of its development would typically be deployed for battle. Here on my extreme right flank is my light cavalry division. Next to them is the brigade of infantry. Behind the town there is another small brigade of infantry with artillery support. And in my center here I have my grand battery of 4 batteries deployed in front, backed up by 3 battalions of guard infantry. Then behind them you can see the big man himself, my army commander, and his staff. Next is my heavy cavalry division, and then in this large village on my extreme left there are 2 more brigades of infantry. The battlefield itself is modeled on an actual real-world location in northern Italy, a bottleneck plain a bit more than a mile wide astride the road from Piacenza to the east and Alessandria to the west, just north of the town of Stradella in what is modern-day southwest Lombardy. Bordered to the north by the River Po, to the south by the foothills of the Apennines. My army is facing east, so the marshes of the River Po lie just off the table to the viewer's right, and the town of Stradella and the foothills of the Apennines just to the viewer's left. The buildings I use are David Winter cottages and represent the village of San Pietro, village of Dorina, the town of Portalbera, the village of Crocetta, and the village of Orzoni. Now from my side of the table, behind my line, facing east and looking down at my right flank, you can again get a look at my light cavalry division, this time from the rear. In Dress to Kill, we organize commands in groups of up to 7 units, with a subordinate general in command counting as 1 unit, and commands can be infantry, cavalry, or artillery. Here my light cavalry division consists of the division commander, 4 regiments of light cavalry, and a battery of horse artillery, or 6 units total. Now, to be able to distinguish which units belong to which command, we use D4s of various colors and place them next to the unit, and the number that's face up represent how many orders that unit currently has available for the hourly round. But just on the merits of being fresh, each unit gets 2 orders, and these can be saved from hourly round to hourly round, but they can never have more than 4, and they can be augmented by being given commands by their leaders or subordinate commanders that are in their chain of command, or transferred all the way from the army commander via the subordinate commander to them. So, but they can never have more than 4 orders or actions that they could perform in any hourly round. So you can see here at the beginning of the game, we mark each unit in the command with a D4 with the 2 facing up. So here you can see we use 6 sky blue D4s, all turned up to 2 to represent that each unit of the light cavalry division has 2 orders to start the battle. Now I think that every wargamer should have a project that they can't die until they complete, and for me, Dress to Kill is that project. So although it's entering its 14th year, I still have many more units unpainted that are based up and ready to paint than I have painted units. Here you can see some Foundry cavalry that I have ready to go. Here's one pan of all front rank infantry, and here's a mix of artillery batteries that I still have lying in wait. Getting back to the painted stuff in general, and specifically the light cavalry division, we don't really distinguish between the different types of light cavalry other than designating them either as line or guard and light cavalry or lancers. This first regiment here is Prince August British Light Dragoons. I use this line light cavalry. To their right here are Prince August French Light Lancers in Shapska. And to their right rear is another regiment of Prince August French Light Lancers, this time in helmets. And bringing up the rear are Old Glory French Light Lancers of Shapska. Battery here is Old Glory French Horse Artillery with a flintlock gun. These guys here are dismounted ADCs, in this case minifigs and Perry miniatures, used by the commanding officer to be sent out to units that need one extra command. They're one-off items, but they can come in handy to a unit that's in trouble. Each general gets 10 per game. Next to the light cavalry are the first of 2 infantry brigades on the right. In front is a 2-battalion regiment of grenadiers made from Prince August French Grenadiers, led by a grenadier colonel from Old Glory. Infantry regiments get colonels that had 1 order and must attach to 1 battalion or the other. Behind the grenadiers is a 2-battalion line infantry regiment. These are Old Glory 2nd Edition French line infantry, led by a French infantry colonel by Perry. These guys have just recently been completed, so you might remember them from one of my recent videos. This brigade also contains an ammunition wagon made from a flintlock limber with minifigs French artillery outrider and minifigs horses. The ammunition wagon is accompanied by an ordnance officer who gets 1 order, made from a figure from Foundry's French Mounted Artillery Command Pack. The brigade commander here is a Perry Miniatures Prince of Orange with ADC. Now you can tell just by looking at them how many orders the cavalry division commanders and infantry brigade commanders and infantry colonels and ADCs get, just by looking at the number of figures on the base. They get 1 order per figure. So if the ordnance officer showed you this one guy, he gets 1 order, colonel gets an order. You see the division and brigade commanders have 2 figures on the base, they get 2 orders. The commanding general of the army is a bit different, and I'll talk about him when we get to him. This battery is Hinchliff Austrian foot artillery. Next is a battalion of minifigs British rifles. Behind them, a battalion of minifigs 7 Years' War Prussian Grenadiers with a Essex French officer. Next to them, a Foundry Russian horse artillery battery, the gunners with caterpillar helmets. So those guys are the second of the 2 infantry brigades on the right flank. The task of this small infantry brigade would be to occupy the village of Drina directly to its front and support the attack of the brigade to its right from there. The general commanding this brigade is represented by a French general and ADC by Perry managers. Next here in my center is my reserve artillery or grand battery. First battery is minifigs Russian foot artillery and Kiewer. Next one, moving right to left, is front rank Bavarian foot artillery. Next is front rank French foot artillery, and on the left there, foundry Russian foot artillery and Shako. There's the commander, who's a foundry Napoleonic French general. It's a Crimean War British horse artillery trumpeter. I'm going to stand with him. Then we have a ammunition wagon with minifigs, horse, and outrider. And Perry miniatures British foot artillery officer. Again, all my artillery guns and limbers are from Flintlock. Next is my commanding general and his staff, and my Guard Infantry brigade with 3 battalions of Guard Infantry and 2 batteries. Notice that my commanding general and staff are mounted individually. This is because the staff can be detached to replace fallen subordinate commanders or lead individual units. The number of orders that the commanding general may issue is determined by counting up the number of stands present at the Army headquarters, including the commanding general, and tracked using a D6 by D4. So the number of orders available decreases, headquarters staff efficiency drops as staff are detached or killed. This is a really cool foundry French Guard sapper officer. Next is a Perry French adjutant. This guy is a front rank French general. And on the front row is a front rank British officer on the right, an Old Glory French hussar officer on the left. Front row center is the big man himself, the commanding general. He's a minifigs Marshal Soult. Decided to go old school with him for both the paint job as well as the choice of the miniature. Now back to the Guard Infantry Brigade. On the right here is a battalion of Finkelstein Line Infantry by Flintlock. Next is Foundry Crimean War British Grenadier Guards. Now since their bearskins didn't have plates on the front, I couldn't resist calling this regiment Guard Chasseurs instead of Guard Grenadiers, so I'm silly that way. And I also couldn't resist painting the jackets red, but I did give them green epaulets. And on the left there are the 3rd Battalion is Prince August Homecast, French Grenadiers with Essex Command. Now, whereas the regular infantry has a colonel for each regiment, the Guard Infantry gets a colonel for each battalion. This guy is a Victrix British colonel. To his right is the Guard Brigade commander. He's a Perry French general with a Perry ADC. The 2 artillery batteries attached to the Guard Infantry Brigade. It's a minifigs French Guard horse artillery battery there on the right, and on the left a Hinchliff Prussian foot battery, but their heads are chopped off and they've been substituted with Prince August Grenadier head. The next command here is my heavy cavalry division consisting of 3 regiments of cavalry, 2 horse artillery batteries, and a commanding general. This regiment in the back here is a heavy cavalry regiment made from Prince August Scots Greys. Next, on the front left, Prince August British Life Guards, made into a heavy cavalry regiment. And here on the right front, or Old Glory Russian Cuirassiers with caterpillar helmets. The general is a Perry French heavy cavalry general and a Perry French adjutant as ADC. Both guns are Old Glory French horse artillery. Finally, this last command on the extreme left is fully fleshed out with 7 units. The first here being a regiment of line infantry from Prince August, they're British foot guards. In front of them are more Prince August, they're Silesian riflemen. Here are Hinchliff, Russian foot artillery, and Bicorn. Commanding general there, just on the other side of the trees, is a Perry, French general and ADC. And finally, here on the far left is a 2-battalion regiment of light infantry led by their colonel, made from minifigs, Wurtembergers. Okay, guys, so that's my Dress to Kill army so far. Please feel free to ask questions or leave comments. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Keep painting and keep your positive attitudes, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.